All right, welcome back. This is the second part of a two-part series in using the order of operations, and this time we're going to address using grouping symbols and positive exponents. We won't do negative exponents at this time quite yet. So let's see. The objective is to be able to simplify numerical expressions using the order of operations that include grouping symbols and positive exponents. And so here we go. Grouping symbols are generally parentheses and as well as brackets, and those two are almost used interchangeably. And we'll see what that looks like in just a second. And so first thing you want to do is you want to work inside the parentheses or the brackets first. So we have two examples here. In this example, you see that we have 5, and then typically when there is no symbol here and you just have the parentheses, we know it's just convention that this is multiplication. So this would be 5 multiplied by whatever is inside these parentheses. So in this case, we have 3 minus 2. Now, normally we go parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction, but I know that this is multiplication, this is subtraction. We do the inside the parentheses first. So 3 minus 2 gives us 1. And then we have now this 5. And as I said, we know that since we've performed this operation inside here, we can drop those parentheses. And we know this is 5 times 1. And that gives us the answer of 5. If you look at the second example, we have 7 times 4 in parentheses, and then divided by 14 and plus 6. So the order of operations would tell us we need to do inside the parentheses first. So we do 7 times 4. That will give us 28. And then we'll divide by 14 and then add 6. And so now that the parentheses are gone, we know next, the next step in the order of operations would be to do multiplication and division. And in this case, we don't have any multiplication, so we'll go to division. 28 divided by 14 is 2, and then we'll bring down the addition and the 6, and 2 plus 6 equals 8. So that will be our answer here. Okay. Now, sometimes you'll see more than one set of parentheses or brackets in the same problem. And so that's called usually nested parentheses. And so let me show you. If you have 2 or more sets of parentheses, it's called nested, as I said. And in this case, you'll work from the inside out. So here we have 2 times 6 plus, and then parentheses, 3 times 8 in parentheses, minus 9, and then another in parentheses. So you'll see these two go together, and then these are the outer two. It's kind of like, have you ever written a sentence where you have a quote inside a quote? Similar to that, I guess. So we want to work from the inside out. So the first thing we're going to do is the inner parentheses, 3 times 8 is 24. And now, for the sake of clarity, I'm just going to bring everything down. Now that we've done inside these parentheses, we can just drop those. We've already performed that operation. We have minus 9. Now what we need to do is inside the next set of parentheses. So we have 6 plus 24, that gives us 30. And then 30 minus 9 will give us 21. So I'm just going to do all those steps at once here. And so we have 2 times, and then all of this inside the parentheses equals 21. And lastly, 2 times 21 is 42, and that's our answer. Let's do one more. So here's our second example. We have 43 minus, and then you have bracket 8 plus parentheses 5 times 3 in parentheses, and then in bracket. And you might see it like this, where you have two sets of parentheses. Maybe they do the outer set in brackets and the inner set in parentheses. So I wanted you to be familiar with that. So we will start with the innermost parentheses first, and 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, and so since I performed this operation, I'm just going to bring down the 8 and the addition. And then, since now we're only dealing with one set of parentheses, I can either make this parentheses or brackets. It really doesn't matter. I'll just write parentheses for this case. And then we'll bring down the subtraction and the 43. And so now what we'll do is we will do the remaining parentheses. 8 plus 15 is 23. We'll bring down this subtraction and 43, and then 43 minus 23 is 20. So there's our answer. Okay. Now, okay. So after you do all of the parentheses, sometimes you will have parentheses combined with exponents, combined with other operations. So to do exponents, you do exponents again after the parentheses. Very simple example, we don't have any parentheses, so we'll go ahead and do the exponents. 5 squared is 25. We'll bring down the minus 4, and then 25 minus 4 gives us 21. And now one more. Now we have a few operations working at the same time. So we know that this is multiplication. We have a parentheses. So we are going to do inside the parentheses first. Now we have to look inside the parentheses and still follow the order of operations within the parentheses. So we have 8 squared plus 2 cubed, or 2 to the third power, minus 22. So we'll perform the exponents now. 8 squared is 64. We'll add that to 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2. That gives us 8. And now subtract 22. And we still have these parentheses here, and we're still multiplying all of that by 10. And let's see, 64 plus 8 will give us 72. And then 72 minus 22 will give us 50. So we have 50, and we've done everything in the parentheses, and we're multiplying that times 10. And then 10 times 50 will give us 500. There's a little bit bigger problem there for us. 500. And to summarize, the summary for this one will be to use the order of operations. Do parentheses first, then exponent second, then remember we do multiplication and division together from left to right, and then we do addition and subtraction together from left to right. And so that's how we do the order of operations.